And we're back with some more Calgary Flames franchise mode in FHM 9. And in this one, we have the Year 9 playoffs. Starting out against the LA Kings, who are 45, 29, and 8. Pretty good roster here. They got Castillo on the back end. They got Gilliam in goal. Byfield's still there. And then, of course, a lot of depth. So this one should be a good one as we head into game number 1 against the LA Kings. We have a 5-3 Calgary Flames victory. Shots are 32-14 in favor of Calgary Flames, so not much going on there for LA. They did get 3 goals, but we got the win. 3 stars of the game, Creech, DeVille, and Hinton. First period, you have Hinton on the power play from Creech and Pegamagabo. Then you have Gillespie for LA, making it 1-1. And then Brody Meehan from Franklin Fortman and Cody Glockner makes it 2-1 heading into the second period, where Creech scores from Antolovsky and Elfring, makes it 3-1. And then Elfring from Creech makes it 4-1. Moline scores late in the second period for LA to make it a 2-goal deficit, but Dan Henderson not long after from Grieve and Hinton to make it a 3-goal lead once again. Third period, you got Moline with another goal, but that is all she wrote for game number 1. Game number 2. Let's see what happens. We got a 7-4 LA Kings victory. Oh no. Shots are 44-37 this time in favor of LA. 3 stars of the game, Peter, Gillespie, and Moline. So first period, no scoring. Second period, Molines gets the first goal of the game. Then you have Creech with back-to-back goals. The first from Amirkanov and Wright. The second from Antolovsky and Nagumanov to make it 2-1. But then you have Coupland, DeVille, and Graham making it 4-2 by the end of the second period. Heading into the third, you have Young for the LA Kings making it 5-2. Mooney with the goal from Antolovsky and Elfring makes it 5-3. But then McGinnis scores for LA to make it 6-3. Igumanov from Mooney and Clark makes it 6-4, but Dominic Peter with the dagger at the end there to make it a 7-4 LA Kings victory. Here we go, game number 3. Come on, Calgary. Oh man, a 5-4 LA Kings victory. Shots at 42-38 in favor of Calgary. 3 stars of the game, Nelson, Pegamagabo, and Lavarik. I mean, yeah, they basically killed us there in the first. Rowe with the goal, short-handed nonetheless, to make it 1-0, and then Antonacci with the goal to make it 2-0. Nelson with 2 goals to make it 4-0. And heading in the second period, you got 5-0 from Graham. So they got 5 before we even got our first from Pegamagabo, from Hughes and Jacques to make it 5-1. But then Doug Elfring scores from Antolovsky and Creech, makes it 5-2. Third period, you have Creech from Antolovsky and Mooney, makes it 5-3. Pegamagabo from Meehan and Muse makes it 5-4. So admirable effort to try to come back, but too little too late, unfortunately, for your Calgary Flames. And LA takes a 2-1 series lead, and now Antolovsky is injured on top of that. Oh man, how long? All right, day-to-day hamstring, not bad. Obviously not good, but we'll have to deal with it for now. So now Henderson moves up there to the first line, so that should be interesting. See what he can do. All right, here we go. Game number 4 against LA. Can we make it a 2-2, or will it be a 3-1 series? It will be a 2-2 series tie. There you go. Shots are 42-30 in favor of your Calgary Flames. And the score, of course, was 2-1. 3 stars of the game, Meehan, Gilliam, and Graham. There's definitely a goaltender's duel in this one. First period, you have Rowe on the power play for LA, makes it 1-0. Second period, no scoring. Third period, you have Meehan from Elfring and Sheets, makes it 1-1. And then late in the period, the captain, Doug Elfring from Meehan, makes it the 2-1 victory. And we're taking this thing at least to 6. So let's see what happens in this pivotal game number 5. Come on, Calgary. There it is. 5-3 victory against the LA Kings in game number 5. Shots were 41-23 in favor of your Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game, Creech, Nelson, and Meehan. First period, you have Mooney from Grieve and Hedquist, makes it 1-0. Then you have Hedquist from Grieve and Glockner, makes it 2-0. And then Lou Nelson for LA makes it 2-1. Second period, Doug Elfring with a goal from Meehan and Hinton, makes it 3-1. Then LA with 2 goals to get it tied at 3 from Doyen and Graham. Then not long after, you have Creech from Sheets and Coronado to make it a 4-3 lead. And then the third, Pegamagabo on the power play from Creech and Meehan to make it the 5-3 victory. Here we go. Elimination game 6 in LA. We're going into it. First period underway. And there's a goal for LA. Lou Nelson with the goal. Makes it 1-0. All right, come on, Calgary. There it is. There's our first of the game. Meehan from Creech and Pegamagabo. As the, actually, I just noticed, is the shots on goal counter new? I think that's new. I don't remember that in the past. Yeah, that must be new. I don't remember seeing that ever until this past update, I suppose. All right, there it is. Before the period ends, Cody Glockner with the goal from Henderson and Pegamagabo Puts us up 2-1. Oh, but 3 seconds before we head into the locker room, Alex Pegamagabo with his 4th of the series from Henderson and Fortman gets us to a 2-goal lead. Second period underway. There's another one. Skylar Grieve from Jacques and Hedquist. We're up by 3. And that is all she wrote for the second. Heading into the third with a substantial lead. Come on, guys. Shut it down for the rest of the game. Maybe get one more. That's not what I meant. Igor Lashevsky for LA gets one. Puts them back within 2. Come on, Calgary. Get one more. There it is. Skylar Grieve with the second of the game from Jacques and Hedquist. Is to a 5-2 lead. And there it is. We win. Score 5-2. And we win the series in 6 games. Very nicely done. So, of course, shots were 40-24. We saw that earlier on the shot clock. 3 stars of the game, Pegamagabo, Jacques, and Henderson. So I guess with that, we'll see what we have in the second round, and it will be the 58-20-4 Seattle Kraken. We knew we were going to have to go up against them eventually. We knew they were a good team, but second round matchup, oh boy, it'll definitely be a tricky one. See what the Seattle Kraken have. Oh man, they got Rubric. He's been a thorn in our side before. Got West Body, Lindner, Grant, Drolet, Zanin. Who's their goaltender? Bernstein? Yeah, I guess so. 2.5 star. Actually, no. He was their backup this year. Who's their main goaltender? Don't tell me it was Aniani. No, it was not. Who was their goaltender? Did he get traded at the deadline? What's their transaction log here? Oh, it must have been... Yeah, it must have been Spidlen. Yeah, this guy here. Yeah, it was Spidlen who was their main goaltender. And then he got flipped to St. Louis at the trade deadline. Yeah, so what happened here, they flipped Spidlen, who was previously their goaltender, to St. Louis in exchange for Rosane. And then the day after, they made a trade sending Spagnuolo also to St. Louis. So they made 2 separate trades with St. Louis, and then they get Thatcher Bernstein in return. Interesting. All right, here we go. Game number 1 against Seattle. What will it bring us? We have a 5-1 Calgary victory. There it is. Shots at 41-26 in favor of Calgary. 3 stars of the game, Henderson, Elfring, and Muse. First period, you have Creech from Elfring and Muse, makes it 1-0. Second period, you have Agumanov from Muse and Hinton, and then Henderson from Elfring and Sheets, makes it 3-0. And heading into the third period, you have Rubric with the goal, makes it 3-1, but that is their only goal of the game, as Hedquist scores from Grieve and Henderson. Then you have Henderson from Clark and Hinton to make it the 5-1 victory. Oh boy, Cody Glockner injured. How long? Oh no. Oh no. Not good. Sprained thumb, 2 to 3 weeks. He'll definitely be back for the Stanley Cup Finals. I just don't know if he'll be back next round. He's out for the rest of this round for sure. I'm just not sure about the third round. But obviously nothing we can do about that right now. Let's just focus on winning the second round and actually getting into the third round first. So a rough injury there in game number 1, but we're gonna have to deal with it. And hopefully we can take a 2-0 series lead here in game number 2. Come on, Calgary. Yeah. I mean, you knew they were gonna have their game. Seattle's too good to go down 2-0 that easily. Shots with 34-29 in favor of Seattle. 3 stars of the game, Body, Meehan, and Rubric. First period, you have Creech with the power play goal from Pegamagabo and Meehan to make it 1-0, and then Richard with the goal for Seattle to make it 1-1. Heading into the second period, where Muse scores on the power play from Fortman to make it 2-1, and then the third period, Body and Stenberg score to make it a 3-2 Seattle victory. Here we go, game number 3 against Seattle. It will be a 6-5 Calgary victory. Wow, quite the game there for anyone who was there. Shots with 39 apiece. 3 stars of the game, Creech, Casper, and Pegamagabo. First period, Bill Zonin with the goal for Seattle to make it 1-0. Heading in the second period, where Elfring scores our first of the game from Creech to make it 1-1. Rubric with the goal to put Seattle back on top, but then Muse late in the period from Jacques and Antonovsky gets us tied heading into the third, where most of the action happened, as Meehan scores early in the period from Pegamagabo and Jacques, put us up 3-2. Then you have Muse on the power play from Creech to make it 4-2. But then Seattle with 3 in a row. Stenberg, Rubric, and Body with the goals to put them at 5-4. But then Pegamagabo twice. The first on the power play from Creech and Sheets, and then the second from Fortman to get us the 6-5 victory in a nail-biter of a third period. My goodness. All right, here we go. Game number 4 against Seattle. That will be a 4-0 Calgary victory. Let's go, boys. Shots are 29-25 in favor of Seattle. 3 stars of the game, Debut with a shutout, Elfring and Creech. First period, you have Creech with a goal from Antonovsky and Elfring. Then you have Elfring from Creech to make it 2-0. Heading into the second period, where Sheets scores shorthanded from Mark Fast to make it 3-0. And then the third, you have Fortman from Muse and Pegamagabo to make it the 4-0 shutout victory. Here we go. Elimination game number 5. This is for the third round. Come on, Calgary. And nothing happened in the first. Quite a few shots on net for Seattle. We didn't get as many. We got 5 to their 11, but it's okay. We're up in the series. Everything's good right now. I'll consider that a good period just for the fact that we didn't let them score. So here we go. Second period. All right, there it is. Jonathan Hedquist with the first goal of the game from Jacques and Wright. Makes it 1-0. There's another goal. Henry Muse from Antolovsky and Jacques makes it 2-0. And right before we head into the locker room for the second period, Braden Creech from Elfring and Antolovsky makes it 3-0. There you go. Come on, boys. This is it. We could go to the third round if we just shut her down in this period. Looking like that will be the case. As Carbonneau, maybe I spoke too soon with the goal for Seattle. It's a 3-1, negates the shutout, but that is all she wrote. And we move on to the third round after taking care of the 58. What was the record again? 58, 20, and 4 Seattle Kraken. I mean, I think this team's got it. I mean, of course, we'll have to play the next 2 rounds to truly see if that is the case, but we're on a roll right now. Shots were 26-21 in favor of Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game, Jacques, Sosinski, and Antolovsky. And we'll be facing the Colorado Avalanche, who are 53, 25, and 4 during the regular season in the third round. So let's check out their roster. The top player is Horst Liesick, 70-point guy. Not too shabby. Good defensively as well, 80 defensive grade. Got Matt Phillips on defense, Alexei Vlasov, and some pretty good depth. Who they have in goal? They have a 2-star Danberg. During the regular season, he has a 901. During the playoffs so far, he's a 917. And when you compare that to, actually it looks like the mix of Debut and Knight. Knight with a 901 in 8 games played, and then Debut in 5 games played with a 909. So Debut has rebounded here in the playoffs, and Spencer Knight has faltered a little. It's a very interesting team. Debut finally getting back on track. Frankly, I don't know what happened with Spencer Knight, but I'll take it. I mean, we're off to the third round, so I can't complain too much, can I? All right, here we go. Game number 1 against Colorado. What's it going to be? We have a 4-2 Colorado victory. Shots are 36-34 in favor of Colorado. 3 stars of the game, Erickson, Creech, and DiGiuseppe. First period, you have Antolovsky from Creech and Elfring, makes it 1-0. But then you have Aaron DiGiuseppe with the goal for Colorado, makes it 1-1. Second period, you have Phillips and Martin with the goals for Colorado, makes it 3-1. And then the third period, you have Creech from Hinton and Fast to make it 3-2. But then Herefeld for Colorado makes it a 4-2 victory for them. Here we go. Game number 2. Come on, guys. That's going to be a 3-2 Calgary Flames victory. Shots were 51-23 in favor of your Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game, Elfring, Goldie, and Creech. First period, you have Hedquist scoring from Pegamagabo and Fast. Then you have Creech from Antolovsky and Sheets. Makes it 2-0. Second period, you have Fleeter for Colorado scoring. Makes it 2-1. And then Trebek in the third makes it 2-2. But then Maximilian Mooney from Doug Elfring gets the game-winning goal to make it a 3-2 victory for your Calgary Flames. And I believe that is, yes, a 1-1 series tie. Oh no, Henry Muse injured. How long? Bruised wrist, 1 to 2 weeks. Not good. Glockner's day-to-day, but still not ready to go. Guess I'll call up Ness. Here we go. Game number 3 against Colorado will be a 5-2 Calgary Flames victory. Shots were 37-28 in favor of Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game, Pegamagabo, Sheets, and Fortman. First period, you have Emile Jacques with the goal from Elfring and Antolovsky with his first of the playoffs. Then you have Erickson with the goal to make it 1-1. Grieve with the goal from Ness and Henderson to make it 2-1. Rick Hood with the goal makes it 2-2. But then Pegamagabo from Meehan and Sheets makes it 3-2. Heading into the second period, where Mark Fast scores from Fortman and Pegamagabo, makes it 4-2. And in the third period, Sheets with the empty net goal from Pegamagabo and Fortman makes it the 5-2 victory. Oh boy, our defensemen are starting to go down now. Mooney is also injured now. Pretty minor knee contusion, only 1 to 2 weeks, but still, with the amount of injuries that we have right now, none of them are serious, but all to our defensemen, Mooney, Glockner, and Muse. We're starting to head into our depth defensemen now. We're calling up Pare. So our defensive core is currently looking like Jacques, Sheets, Fast, Pare, Ness, and Clark. That bottom 4 is a bit rough. That bottom 4 is a bit rough. We're going to be probably using Jacques and Sheets a lot for the rest of the series, at least. Here we go. Game number 4, I believe this is. Sim game. We have a 4-3 Calgary Flames victory. Shots of 37-29 in favor of Calgary. 3 stars of the game, Elfring, Liesick, and Creech. First period, you have Lisick with the goal for Colorado to make it 1-0, but then Antolovsky from Fast and Elfring makes it 1-1. Second period, Creech from Elfring and Antolovsky, and then Sheets from Creech and Elfring makes it 3-1. Third period, you have Sheets from Hedquist and Henderson to make it 4-1. Colorado late in the period with a couple of goals of their own from McDonough and Lisick to make it 4-3, but it was not enough, and we take the 3-1 series lead, and we can move on to the Stanley Cup Finals with one more victory here against the Colorado Avalanche. Come on, Calgary. Going into it. First period underway. And there's a goal for Colorado, Zygmunt Zold. And Doug Elfring gets the goal back for us. We are tied halfway through the first period. So clutch goal there for Elfring. Come on, guys. Keep it going. And there we go. There's another one. Alex Pegamagabo from Fortman and Pare with his first assist of the playoffs. And we head in the locker room up by 1. And nothing happened in the second period. That was pretty uneventful, actually. So here we go. Third period underway. And there's a goal for Colorado. Klaus with the goal. Makes it 2-2. Montcalm got a lot of penalties right now. Ugh, Klaus with another goal. Goalie and Herrefeld makes it 3-2. Come on, Calgary. There it is. Dan Henderson from Fast and Hedquist. A lot of penalties right now. Come on, boys. Stop taking these penalties. Brody Meehan. Goalie with a penalty for them. And we are headed to overtime in game number 5. Come on, Calgary. End it right here. A holding on Doug Elfring. Oh, man. Goalie with the goal. And that will end it a 4-3 Colorado victory. So we're going to game number 6. Shots were 34-31 in favor of Colorado. 3 starters of the game, Goldie, Henderson, and Klaus. Going into it again. First period underway. Start out with a tripping penalty for Lisick. So we're on the power play. There it is. Emil Jacques with a goal from Elfring and Creech. Makes it 1-0 on the first shot of the game as well. And there's another one. Doug Elfring with his 8th of the playoffs from Creech and Meehan. Makes it 2-0. There's one for Colorado. Morelli gets the goal for them. And there's one, Hedquist from Grieve and Henderson makes it 3-1. And we're heading into the second period up by 2. And there's one for Lisick. Cuts the deficit once again to 1. Come on, Calgary. There it is. Hedquist with another goal from Grieve and Antolovsky makes it 4-2 halfway through the second period. And there's one for Braden Creech from Fast and Antolovsky, makes it 5-2. And there's another one, Braden Creech with a 4-point performance so far this game from Grieve and Antolovsky, makes it 6-2. And there's another one, the Braden Creech with a hat trick and a 5-point night from Elfring and Jacques, makes it 7-2. Oh man. And they have a 5-goal mountain to overcome if they are going to get back into this. So I do not see that happening, as watch it's going to happen now, as Hood with the goal halfway through the period. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Lisick with the goal, too little, too late. That is right. We move on to the Stanley Cup final. 7-4, the final score in game number 6. Shots were 35-25 in favor of your Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game, Creech, Grieve, and Henderson. Let's see what we have in the Stanley Cup final. Yay, Glockner's back. Okay, that's one of our key players back. Hopefully Muse gets back in time, as well as Mooney. And it will be the Detroit Red Wings, who were 57, 19, and 6. I'm pretty sure that this is a rematch from, I believe it was a few years ago. As we check the history, yeah, it doesn't show the runner-up here, but I'm pretty sure one of these years, Detroit was the runner-up. So I believe this is a rematch from a previous season. So here we go, game 1 against Detroit for the Stanley Cup Finals. That'll be a 3-2 Calgary Flames victory. 82 shots, what? Did we go to like 4 overtimes or something? Overtime 3. 82 shots. I can't say I was expecting to see that. 3 stars of the game, Pegamagabo, Genovese, and Debut with the 957 save percentage. I need to take like a breather here. I can't believe I just saw 82 shots on the team statistics page. First period, Pegamagabo with the goal from Fast and Creech to make it 1-0, and then that was 54 seconds in as well. And then with 6 seconds remaining in the period, so an early goal and a late goal, Cedar scores for Detroit to make it 1-1. Second period, you have Genovese with the goal to put Detroit up by 1, and then you have Antolovsky from Creech and Sheets to make it tied at 2. Of course, there was no scoring in the third, no scoring in the first overtime, no scoring in the second overtime, and at 13:27 of the third overtime, Fortman scores from Pegamagabo and Meehan. Wow, what a game. I was certainly not expecting to see that. Wow. Nonetheless, for the first game of the Stanley Cup Finals, every once in a while, we'll have something absolutely crazy happen on this channel, and that is certainly one of them. But the good news is that Henry Muse is back, so getting him back on the roster. All right, here we go. game number 2 against Detroit. Let's hope it's a little bit more tame this time. And that will be a 6-2 Calgary Flames victory. Shots were 38-32 in favor of the Detroit Red Wings. But of course, we made our shots count more. 3 stars of the game, Elfring, Creech, and Debut. So Debut looks like he's having a redemption arc in these playoffs. He's getting the job done. He is certainly getting the job done as of right now. First period, you have Shane Wright with his first of the playoffs. Really? That's Shane Wright's first of the playoffs? What's he been looking like so far? Only 4 points so far total? Is he on the 4th line or something? He's on the 3rd line right now with Hinton and Grieve. Yeah, so Wright definitely starting to fall off due to age, it seems. So Wright from Hedquist is the first goal game, and then Wright again. So you're telling me that at least 2 of his points so far have been from this game alone? Wow, he's really been invisible for the most part, but I'm glad he's decided to show up in this game. And the assist from Hinton and Muse on that goal to make it 2-1. Brody Meehan from Igumanov and Glockner makes it 3-1, heading into the second period where Antolovsky scores from Creech and Elfring, makes it 4-1. Elfring from Creech and Ness makes it 5-1. And then the third period, Elfring from Creech and Antolovsky makes it 6-1. Spihar for Detroit makes it 6-2. But obviously, that was way too little too late, and we take the 2-0 series lead. And very nice, Mooney is back as well, so we now have a completely healthy roster. Come on, Calgary. Make it 3-0 series lead right now. That will be a 3-0 series lead. Shots are 41-29 in a 2-0 victory for your Calgary Flames over the Detroit Red Wings. 3 stars of the game. Debut with yet another shutout in these playoffs. And then Zinedine and Yurichek for Detroit are the 2nd and 3rd stars of the game. But Jeremy Debut, man, I don't know what to say about him. He's like, he definitely performs when it counts. I'll give him that much. I will give him that much. I mean, he had like maybe 1 year in the playoffs where he was not good, but every other playoff run so far, he's been solid, including this one at the moment. And we're up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals because of it. First period, no scoring. Second period, no scoring, and no penalties for that matter. In the third period, Antolovsky from Elfring and Sheets, and then Elfring from Antolovsky and Fortman makes it a 2-0 victory. Here we go. Game number 4. Elimination game number 4. We're going into it. Come on, Calgary. Finish this off now. All right, so scoreless first period. I'll take it. Second period. There it is. Braden Creech with goal from Elfring and Antolovsky. Makes it 1-0. That first line's really been doing a lot of the heavy lifting so far. I've been reading off Antolovsky, Creech, and Elfring's names a lot. So I can't wait to see the point totals after the series is over here. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We still got 1 more period to play here in this game, at least. We're up 1-0, heading into the third period. Come on, Calgary. Finish it off. Finish it off, Calgary. Get me 1 more. There it is. Braden Creech from Meehan and Pegamagabo makes it 2-0. And come on, we get yet another shutout on the back of Jeremy Debut, and we win our 3rd Stanley Cup in 5 seasons. I would call that a dynasty. 3 cups in 5 seasons? Yeah, that's a dynasty. Way to go, boys. Shots were 34-29 in favor of the Calgary Flames. 3 stars of the game. Debut yet again with the clutch shutout. Edvinson and Creech. That's why I didn't trade him. That's why I didn't trade him. He's shown me in the past that he can do it when he actually puts his mind to it. Of course, he did have a rough regular season this year, but it seems that didn't deter him from having a stellar playoff performance. I would not be surprised if his save percentage was somewhere up there in like the 930s. 923. I mean, that's really, really good compared to where he was in the regular season. Debut is a gem. I'll say it right now. He is a gem. Despite his flaws, during the playoffs, he's proven that, like many of our players, he comes to play. So, wow. I mean, wow. 35 points for Creech? What? This team, man. I don't know. 35 points for Creech. Elfring, my man, I think you might have been overtaken here by Creech for the MVP. I mean, Elfring was solid too. He was great. 29 points in 21 games played. But Creech, that was that's a really, really solid performance there. And that's very much understating it. Then you got Antolovsky with 23 points in 18 games played. Pegamagabo with 20, so he rebounded from his regular season, which was slow by his standards. 14 points for Meehan, 12 for Hedquist and Sheets, 10 for Muse, Henderson, Grieve, Fortman, and Jacques. 8 for Fast in 12 games played, so he did great as well when he was in there. Hinton with 7 points, Mooney with 5, 4 for Wright, Igumanov, and Glockner, 2 for Ness and Clark, 1 for Amirkanov in 1 game played. And then Parra and Coronado also with one. I think Coronado's going to get released, honestly. As good as he's been, as much as I appreciate his long tenure here, if he asks for a lot during the re-sign stage, then I don't think that we're going to be renewing him. I mean, if he asks for, I don't know, 3 mil, I'll re-sign him, but 5.9, nah, I think Coronado's going to go. Unless we can actually afford him, which I don't think so. Just considering at the moment, our salary is at 86.2 right now. And that's without the increased salary of, who is it? Who got raises again? Mooney, Sheets, Pegamagabo as well. Right. Pegamagabo, how much is he selling for again? 6 mil? Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to afford Coronado, as much as I hate to say it. Because I definitely want to re-sign Muse. I want to try to re-sign Knight, assuming he doesn't retire. Because he's proven that he's a good 1B to debut. I mean, again, unless he's asking for a lot here. Oof, 7.3. I don't know. I don't think so. That's going to be too much. Much as I hate to let him go after how he managed to get us into the playoffs and then which allowed debut to just take over and do his thing. But that's just too much. That's too much. We can't be spending that much on a 1B goaltender. Someone's got to go this offseason, whether it's Knight or Coronado or both. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, clearly being a dynasty team does have its consequences when it comes to aging like that. And, you know, just players getting better in general. But you know what? I don't care about any of that. I mean, we just won the Stanley Cup for the 3rd time in 5 seasons. How can you argue with that? That is results right there. So, you know what? I don't know if Coronado's coming back or not. But if not, Coronado, man, you served us well. Good luck to wherever you're going next. Spencer Knight, same thing. I mean, obviously, he wasn't here for as long, but still, nonetheless, a key part of this season, getting us into the playoffs. Henry Muse, we are going to re-sign for sure. Only 5.4 for 2 years, really? Yeah, I'll definitely do that. See if I could take it down to 5 mil, in fact. 5.4, I'll go 5.1, 5.13. All right, that works for me. And there it is. Your Calgary Flames, for the 3rd time in 5 seasons, are the Stanley Cup champions, having to go through LA, Seattle, Colorado, and Detroit. Okay, here's how deep we are at forward. I didn't even notice this. Marcus Kivilati, currently a 3-star talent, sitting in the AHL. he's been sitting there in the AHL for the past 3 seasons. I didn't even notice he was a 3-star ability. That's how deep we are at forward. And he's cheap too, 1.1 for 2 years. I would definitely re-sign him, especially if we're going to be forced to release Coronado. Gu Yao wants 2.2 for 3 years. He was barely even able to hold down an NHL roster spot though this year, so I don't think so. I might qualify. Yeah, I can auto qualify him and then maybe trade him, but I'm not re-signing him. That's for sure. Amirkanov wants 1.3 for 3 years. Definitely doing that. Toriko wants 1.4 for 3 years. Cap situation this year is going to be a bit rough, so I'm just going to auto qualify him for now. All right, time to sign some prospects. You got Tim Knight, definitely looking pretty good. I think we will sign him. He's got a 2-star ability, 2.5-star potential. No, not lapsed player rights. Jeez, misclicked there for a second. And is anyone expiring? Kachuk, Ashmore, Sigmundson, Chopra, Posse, Dombrovskis, Zamanov, Keller, and Demore. I'll sign Zamanov. He's a 1.5-star ability. I'll sign Kachuk as well. He's a 1.5-star ability. I think that's about it in terms of guys who are expiring this year. And here we go. Time for the awards. For the Ted Lindsay and the Art Ross, you have Yuri Rausa. For the Maurice Richard, you have, of course, Doug Elfring, who had 50 goals, most in the league. The Lady Bing goes to Tyler Hinault of the Islanders. Then you have Artem Duda of Arizona for the Bill Masterton. Then for the Mark Messier Leadership Award, you have Noah Kosick. For the Jennings, you have Thatcher Bernstein of Seattle. So Seattle training for the Jennings Trophy winning goaltender. For the Hart, you have Rausa, Isaacson, and Elfring. Come on, Elfring, Rausa. That's unfortunate. And the Conn Smythe, I mean, it's got to be Creech, right? Yeah, Creech. 35 points in 20 games played. Wow. For the Calder, between Phillips, Castange, and Lapierre, you have Lapierre of Montreal. For the Norris, between Castillo, Etula, and Isaacson, is Isaacson of the Islanders. For the Selke, between Zonin, Stenberg, and Shergo, it is Stenberg of Seattle. For the Vezina, between McAdams, Speedlin, and Zinedine. So wait a minute. Did Winnipeg trade Speedlin, who is a finalist for the Vezina, for Bernstein, who won the Jennings? Okay. It's a bit of an odd one there. Who wins it? It's going to be Trevor McAdams of Tampa. Executive of the Year between Klatt, Raftis, and Chaika. It is Raftis of Toronto. And for the Jack Adams between O'Trainer, Younger, and Yurachuk, is Yurachuk also of Toronto. And we have the year 9 season summary. We didn't get manager of the year. We didn't finish first. Of course, we didn't have any negative categories, but we reached the playoffs, had a winning season, had a winning percentage of 600 or better. We reached the finals, won the championship, and met our objective. So that must be a new part of the update there. And then longevity bonus 8, financial health bonus 0. So that's good to know that we're not in good financial health, I suppose. And the total season score is 49, bringing our total career score so far to 479. I have 9 available points. I think I'll get some of my coaching ratings up there, then in-game tactics and player motivation up as well. And with that, we are now on July 1st of 2038. Looks like we're going to have a couple of retirements here. Yep, Knight has retired. Mike Yeo has retired, so we're going to have to find a new defensive coach. Murray Edwards is out as our owner, and Will Nickel is also retiring, so quite a few of those this year, it looks like. That means we'll just have to get some fresh faces on board. So with that, I think this has been long enough already, so we're going to end it off here, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we hope to continue our dynasty here in Calgary.